So knowing all these people that we're working with, the key to working with them is going to be building trust. So how do we do that, and why should we do that? First of all, these aren't my, epiphanies that I have had in life. They're from Psychology Today. They don't apply specific to social media, but just to humans in general, and therefore great for us to think about as we're doing social media, especially in government. So first of all, we need to follow through on our promises if we want to build trust. So as simple as if you're doing response and you say, hey, I know your garbage didn't get picked up today. We're going to let sanitation know. Sanitation better go pick up the garbage, right? So you got to follow through on that. Or if you say, hey, we're going to check in with somebody, get more information, you need to get back to them. You need everybody to feel like they can be vulnerable and take risks, like my Taylor Swift post, apparently. I was taking a bit of a risk with that. And other people, like Danielle said, maybe are reaching out and they're maybe not comfortable doing it quite yet or wanting to get in conversation. So we need to be thinking about that and come at them with some respect and be empathetic to whatever legitimate concern they have and give them the benefit of the doubt. This one is really tough when you're dealing with those groups that are a bit more angry or rude, right? But like I said, so many times they generally probably have a very honest question and they're not necessarily up to something, right? We just sometimes need to answer the question and not assume anything more. We all deal with some very tough topics from time to time working in government, and people will be very emotional at that. So meeting them with kindness and be giving, right? Add, that surprise and delight. If somebody's talking on a post about something, give them some extra information about it that might be helpful. Or find ways that you can just give those little pieces of encouragement or a smile to your community.
So then what does all that kind of mean for social gov? It means that we definitely have to make an effort on social media. We need to be respectful to our followers and the people who interact with us. We should act like a real person because, we always want to encourage people to understand that there are humans behind these people profiles. And so we also want them to respect that there are people behind these brands and our government agencies making these posts and creating this content. And then we also need to remember that not everyone is out to get us. One example that we shared is the Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District, their Twitter/X, whatever you want to call it now, is amazing. They've built kind of a reputation for having humor, and you can kind of tell that there is a human behind this account. So the interactions that they get and the conversations that they have with their followers are just really engaging and kind of have built up a trust with their, community, but also kind of throughout the social gov world. We always kind of look to them for examples. And then the next slide, you can't build trust if you don't respond. That kind of is a big thing for both Jesse and I, is that you should respond in a timely manner, which you define. It doesn't have to be the same minute, like a minute after someone comments, but you kind of create how you respond timely, set up response goals, instant replies, and away messages, kind of make the system work for you. But responding to people is really the best way to build trust. And so kind of jumping off of that, since we've established responding and engaging is key to building these relationships, we've got some rules of engagement. So the next slide talks about balancing opportunity with risk. So some opportunities, there's definitely flipping the situation to a positive, even if you can't fix it. As we've mentioned multiple times, many people are looking for an answer or information. So being able to educate them on the issues that concern them on social media is huge, because they might not be comfortable making a phone call or coming to a public meeting or going to your website, but using social media is how they kind of communicate or start getting information. So it's also building trust and goodwill and showing others users that you're responsive, helpful, and trustworthy. Those are all opportunities to build relationships. And then the last one, encouraging brand advocates to enter the conversation. We all have those people who maybe we've met in person or are always out there helping us kind of advocate the different things that we're talking about. So pulling them to the forefront and having them kind of help you build trust and goodwill while showing your followers you are responsive, helpful, and trustworthy is a great opportunity for building these relationships. But then there are risks. So the next slide talks about you may be prevented from responding to certain topics. You might have a legal team or even upper administration insist that you don't respond to certain things because of litigation or an ongoing issue or something like that. So you got to remember, have that risk in the back of your mind as things come up. Another, does the situation represent an actual threat? I'm in the habit of taking anything that could even be slightly threatening to a coworker or someone in the public as a threat and document it, taking a screenshot, putting it in a folder on my desktop, and then sharing that with executive and legal teams maybe once a month. It's just a part of the job. I might not act on anything, but I'm kind of keeping track of that just so I understand what's going on for different departments that I work with. And if you are being responsive, you got to remember that it's always going to be visible to the public through screenshots and public record. If you're using an archiving service like Archive Social, you have all that. But there are other people out there taking these screenshots and kind of paying attention. So it's always smart to take your time in crafting your reply, kind of balancing that risk of everyone seeing what you're putting out there with some thoughtful content. And then it's always important to have an exit strategy if the situation escalates. I kind of have an unwritten rule that I'll go back and forth with someone commenting in the comment section up to 3 times. Try to get the information and point them to our website. In my first comment, answer if they follow up, answer again with here's where you can get more information in the second, and then kind of end the conversation if they come back with a third comment and a third reply and trying to take it offline. And whether it's sending them a direct message or, sharing that you can reach out to us at this email address, kind of getting things off the social media networks and kind of into a place where you can maybe delve deeper with someone who might have an actual question or concern.